have to say this. I was absolutely sort of stunned by some of the comments I saw on the match reaction last night. I read most reactions to Manchester United that we do, and considering Man United won 3-0 last night, I was absolutely stunned by the volume of comments that I saw. Some people were in the comments saying, we were lucky. Some people were saying that result wasn't on Amrim. It wasn't a tactical thing at all. Some people were like slating individual players. Some people were saying, he's definitely going to end up getting the sack. And the mad thing is, if you go and check those comments on the match reaction, they're getting 200, 300, 400 likes. They're high up. And I'm like, all right, some of it might be trolls, but there are still people in our fan base that were moaning about last night. And I'm like, look, the benefit of age, and the older fans will be with me on this, it's not often United go away in Europe to the favourites in the tournament and win 3-0, whether it's the Europa League, the Conference League, or the bloody Carabao Cup. Hello everybody, today's clip is supported by Sleeper. Before we dive in, let me tell you a bit more about Sleeper. This app is making serious waves. It was the #1 downloaded sports app in the US during the NFL season, even beating heavyweights such as ESPN and Yahoo. Sleeper isn't just popular, it's because they truly deliver the best fantasy experience. You get deeper customization, more league options, and all the bells and whistles that make managing your fantasy team a blast. But that's not all. Sleeper is growing a fantastic community with several million people using it daily for their sports fix. Sleeper has a broad appeal and is genuinely built for everyone. So, if you're looking to up your fantasy game, make sure to check out Sleeper by clicking the link in the video description. Trust me, you won't regret it. It was a really fantastic result last night. And what surprises me is that we were never, ever going to win this tournament playing vintage football. What we're doing is beating decent teams in their own backyard with a bunch of players that are Ten Hag's players. Ralf Rangnick, in an interview yesterday, said this: "It's interesting what that football club have decided to do since I left. They've spent £700 million since I left on players for Erik Ten Hag. They've then sacked him and brought a manager in who plays a completely different system to the £700 million worth of players you've bought in. It's going to be very interesting to see how it works out at Manchester United, because Man United are where they are in the Premier League, because that system will not work with those players and Premier League clubs will take advantage of it." So that's from Ralf Rangnick, who for me is one of the most intelligent people to observe Manchester United. So when you take those comments, which I think we're all fully aware of, for Ruben Amorim to be taking a bunch of players that don't suit his system and winning games like that last night and getting us potentially into a Europa League final, imagine what will happen if they actually follow through on what they're surely going to do, which is give him the players and a pre-season. So, there's not many people this morning talking about the system, is there? These ex-players who know everything, or these fans who, just love to talk about the system. Not many people talking about the system this morning, is there? Of course there isn't, because the system's a joke. Like, the system argument's a joke. I look at that game last night, Casemiro, Bruno, Maguire, experienced players who, were very good against Lyon as well. Give him more experienced players who know the system, and we can only get better. We can only get better. It's an absolute fact. But you know what I think as well? I think that last night was quite a lesson to me. I read the comments. I've always read the comments. I've done it for 10 years. I might not reply. There's so many, but I love reading the comments. So if you're never watching live and you want to read a comment, there's a very big chance I'm going to read it. So please do it. And a lot of people like it and they interact. And there's a lot of different opinions in there. But what I realised last night is that in this world of opinion, even when something is factually wrong, it doesn't stop people backing themselves into a corner. So just remember, passionate opinion isn't necessarily right. In fact, it can be absolutely factually wrong and people will still argue with you. And that's just the way it is. Haters are going to hate. Look at the red card last night. Like, it's literally written in the rule book that if you deprive a goal scoring opportunity and there's no attempt to win the ball, it's a red card. There's no room for maneuverability. There's no, subjectivity. There's no, they were unlucky. It's an absolute fact. That could happen to us in the final. Harry Maguire could pull back Solanke and stop him scoring a goal in the first minute, and he will get a red card. And we will probably lose the final. And it will be a real downer, and it'll really annoy us. But factually, it will be a red card. It's not like when it hits someone's hand and they go, this week it's a red card, it's a handball penalty. That was absolutely a red card, whether people like it or not, and still people are arguing about it. And it's factually a red card. So I just think, sometimes you've got to remind yourself when you wake up in a good morning and you're happy with Man United and you see United fans who are just not happy, and you're sort of like going, we won 3-0. We didn't concede a goal. They've got the best defence in Europe. They deservedly had a man sent off. We deservedly were 1-0 up already. We deservedly won the game. And people are still moaning. And you sort of like go, yeah, you think you're a United fan, but something's gone wrong somewhere when you can't wake up and enjoy that. Something's gone wrong there if you think you're a United fan and you're moaning about that game last night. Because you won't get many of them. You won't get many of them in your life where you go away in a semi-final to the favourites and win 3-0. And don't talk to me about circumstances, because Sir Alex Ferguson very regularly played bad games in Europe and got good results. Where this fantasy myth has come from that you have to play well and win every game, well, that doesn't happen. Liverpool don't play well and win every single game. Arsenal don't play well and win every single game, and neither do Man City. Sometimes it's about getting a good result, and we were never going to win this tournament playing good football. It's impossible. He's using Ten Hag's players who are used to a back four in a system they're not used to. This is just fight, grind, get through. And it's incredible, isn't it? Because so many people have shouted and screamed, nah, we've got no chance. We're not winning this tournament. No chance. Never going to happen. What they do? We're going to be in a fight. We're in a final. We're basically in a final unless we bottle it. And I know I said we'd win the Europa League in January, but that was just a hunch. I always thought we were going to win it, but never thought it was going to be pretty. And I tell you what, for a Friday, heading into a bank holiday weekend in the UK, the sun is shining. I'm not in disbelief. These things can happen. But what a result. What a result. It was a brilliant result. Absolutely. Patrick Lynch says, Rangnick's comments made me think that Amrim's biggest job is convincing the owners that giving him what he needs is worth it. We still have business people making football decisions. Rangnick's comments were brilliant if anybody didn't see them. He basically said, United have spent £700 million since I left on a system that they don't want to play anymore. And they brought another manager in and the players don't suit the system. So what happens next is going to be very interesting. And I think Patrick Lynch has nailed it. Thanks for your super chat, Patrick. Because when we got Amrim in November, I was like, what are we doing here? We don't play this system. But I instantly thought, well, they must be going to spend money. And then for the last 5 months, they've been moaning that there isn't any money. So you sort of like go, you've literally bought a guy in where you need to spend another 700 million and you're saying you haven't got any money. Why did you bring him in then? So we wait and see. People hating on Bruno don't understand football, says David Watson. I haven't seen any hating on Bruno, but I think any hating on any player last night is just ridiculous. But there are some weirdos out there. Welcome. Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.